Kunal here, and today we are going to start a fresh Android tutorial series which should be in English language. And basically for those students who don't understand the Hindi, a lot of students I got a lot of comments to start a fresh tutorial from very scratch in English language so that they can understand it easily. Okay, so I'm going to start it from very beginning level. Let us just open that Android Studio icon. I assume that you download the Android Studio from web and install it already. Okay, so just open that Android Studio icon and you will have this such type of a screen. Over there you just need to select that and start new Android Studio project. Okay, so let us click on this start new Android project. You will have a lot of activities over there. Just start from for the beginner level. You just start from empty activity. Okay, don't select one these activities you will have on your screen, so don't select them. Just select this empty activity. Okay, and proceed with this empty activity. Click on next button. You will have a text box over there. You can write your project name. So just write first application. So I am giving the project name is first applications. You can give your own name, it is upon you. You can use your any name. Okay, but just keep in mind you must follow those name conventions. Okay, so now the language would be obviously Java, and this is the API level. Okay, we will discuss it about later. We'll discuss in later what is this API level. Okay, now finally everything is done. Now click on finish. After clicking finish, you will have your project ready. Over there we will discuss just in a few seconds. Just wait. Okay, now Android is getting ready everything. Android's making your project ready. Now let's wait for seconds. Yeah, it's already ready. So before starting the project, let's understand something about this Android. Okay, as soon as we start the Android project, we will have two types of file. Okay, we will have two types of file. One file is basically XML file and the another file is .java file. Done. One file is .xml file and one file is .java file. In XML file, basically we make designs with the help of XML, and even you can do it by just dragging the controls over the activity or over this design, or you can call it form, and this activity in the view of Android, just call it activity. We will see this. What is this activity? So this is the XML, and this XML you will have this two view of this XML file. One is code part and one is design part. One is design part and the another one is code part. Okay, design part and code part. In the design part you can see the actual physical designs you will have in your emulator on a device, and this code part is basically contain this XML file. This code part is basically contain this XML file. Okay, this XML file. Let us see. Okay, as I discussed, as I told you, as soon as the project got started, you will have this two type of file: activity main.xml and main activity.java. See this, I told you there would be two files, XML and Java. So exactly I am having these two files, activity main.xml and main activity.java. These two files are basically linked together. Whatever the design you will make this in XML file, I have to make a reference in Java files. Okay, so I'll basically create a respective reference of these two text boxes, and whatever the view or whatever the control we will be using in our project, we must make the reference in .java file, and we will make calculations over here. And as when I will run this project, and whatever the actions I will do in this .java file, it will be reflected in this XML file. We will see this in coding. Wait. So now come, this is the XML file. See this, there's a two parts, design and code. In the design section you can see the actual design, physical design, what are the actual things you are making or you are designing. So just delete this hello world. Okay, this is the hello world. Don't do this. Done. Okay, this is the design portions and this is the XML part portions. Whatever the things we will design here, its respective XML will be designed, will be automatically created over there. You don't need to write it down, and even you can write here and its respective design will be automatically created over here. Okay, these code and designs are automatically linked with each other. If you work on a design, the XML part will be automatically created, and if you work on XML, if you write XML, its respective design will be created in the design sections. Okay, and before designing anything, just let us understand a little about this layouts. Okay, layouts basically the thing over there you basically put your controls. Okay, let us understand it. Just delete these sections. Layout are the things like a table. You can just put your things on a table, like if you put suppose a glass of water in a table, if you put a spoon on a table. So there is a structure, you just put the things over there. The same thing like layouts over here. Before design, before start anything, or before starting anything, or before making the design anything, we just need to understand little about this const layouts. Okay, we will discuss this the entire things, the complete things about the layouts in a later chapter, in the later videos. For the time beings, we just understand the little things about the constraint layout. In the constraint layouts, we can easily we can easily put the controls over there, and easily we can move, drag and drop anything. Just drag the controls and put on a layout. Okay, this is a layout. But the thing is this, after keeping this view, after keeping this controls on a layout, you have to bind it. You have to make constraints to four ends of this layout, to the all four ends of this layout. So it's basically you are binding this view to the all corner of layout. So when when the things will go live with emulator, so this will not be impacted according to the different size of your emulator. If you put this text view just after here, just at this portions of screen, then whatever screen this program will this application will run, whatever the screen size, it will not impact this position of text view. So that is very useful layouts, or you can say that this is responsive layout. Okay, so that's why this is most widely used layout. Except this, there is also a lot of layouts we will learn about this, and even a lot of useful layouts we will learn except this constraint layout. But this constraint layout is widely used nowadays, because this is this will be worked as like a responsive design. Okay, so I'm deleting this text view again. Okay, this is the XML file. We will not make a lot of things, we will not make a lot of codings over here. Basically we will do anything in this design section. So I'm dragging this text view. Don't use this text view. Okay, I'm dragging this text view over here, and these horizontal constraints are automatically created. Okay, you don't do the you don't need to do this, it is automatically created. You just need to make the constraints vertical constraints. So drag these constraints and put it to the top bar, and again drag it, again this drag it, and bind it to the bottom label. So you can see that this is now binded at four corners of your screen. Then whatever the screen size at runtime in your emulator or in your device, this text box will be constrained at this position, and it will not be changed at any cost, at any position at any device, at any screen, the position of this text view will remain same. So just just use this text view and don't use then after that I'll not be using any other controls. Now come to the code sections. Okay, this is the code part. Here is a text, just leave it, or you can delete this text position. This is the ID of text view. This is very important part, because this ID, with the help of this ID, we will make the reference in the .java file, and we will discuss about later what is reference over here. So now just to rename this ID according to you. So I am using here this is text header. Okay, I am giving a name which is a header. And you can put the name text size. So text style is bold, and text size, select the text size, put 30 sp. You can use text color, so just hash 000. So it is the hash code of black color. So as it is a very integrated environment, so the code which you want to write over here, this will automatically come as soon as you write the single letter from that. Then the suggestion will come automatically, and you can easily suggest you can easily pick the text you want to write from that suggestions. Assume that if I want to change the background color, or if you want to change the text color or text size, just write down the text te. The suggestion will come automatically, and you can select the text from there. You don't need to write the entire things. Okay, so there would be a chances of spelling mistakes or capital or small letter case mistakes. So don't ever write the entire code, entire string. Don't ever try to write on this entire text string. Okay, just use this first text, first letter. Automatically the suggestion will come, and just select your required text from there, or your required string from that suggestions or collections. Okay, so you can see that I have drawn this text view on a screen, on a layout. Then the XML file is automatically created here, and I changed its header part, its name and its color in XML portions, and its respective changes made in the design sections automatically. Okay, so I just made this text view empty. Now come to this Java portions. Okay, as I made you understand just before a minutes, there must be two types of file. One is XML file and the another is Java file. One is XML file and another is Java file. We basically make designs in XML files, and we make programming. So now let us understand what we will do in a Java file. Okay, so assume that we have created design. Just delete that two text files. I just assume that we have created, not assume that we have already created a text view in XML file. And what we will do in this Java file. Okay, so in this Java file we will create a text view in a runtime. Okay, we will create a text view in a runtime, text view object, suppose it is ob1 in runtime. Okay, and here I have created a text view in XML file. So what would we do in the next part? We will make a reference with this ob1 to this text view of XML file, to text view of this XML file. Okay, just make concentration on these portions. Okay, we are making the reference of this text view which I have created in XML file with the object that I am creating in .java file. After making the reference of this XML text view with your runtime object text view in Java file, and if you make any changes in this ob1.text, suppose you make any changes, suppose ob1.text is equal to hello world. Okay, then what would be happen when you run this program? So what you just make the changes, you just made the changes in this in this runtime object. But what will be happen, it will change, it will change the content of this text view, which is an XML file. Basically this XML file will be visible or will interact with the user will see this text view, or I'll be changing, I'll change this text view, or I'll change the content of this text view with the help of Java, with the help of Java file. Basically what I did, I just make the reference of this XML text view with this runtime text view object. I change the content of runtime text view object, so automatically the content of this XML object will get changed. So let us see, let us come to the code. Let's see this. I have created this a text view, its ID is a header. So I gonna create a text view in .java file. Its name is might be t1, and just I am making the, or I'm pointing. Okay, so first in the process of pointing or making references, you just need to convert, you just need to typecast with its type, which is text view, and then find this find that control with the help of find by id and r.id header. Okay, which is the header. You have already seen that I changed this ID to header, so I found that with the help of r.id.header path, and I'm pointing this header to this t1. So if you make this its content, if you change its content t1.setTest and you write down here hello world, and just notice that I'm writing this code in on create method. Okay, on create method is the first method which will be executing as soon as your emulator will start. Okay, so this method will not wait for an event. When an event will fire, then the method will execute. It will not be happen. As soon as your emulator will start, the on create method will be executed, and whatever the content which will be written in this on create method, it will get executed, it will be get executed. Okay, so what I have written in this on create method, I just pointing that header file, header text view, which I have created an XML file. I made point it to a t1, and then I change the text of t1 which is hello world. So what would be happen when I run this program? Suppose, okay, the code portion is done, then the next portion is with your emulator. Okay, so my emulator is already selected, which is Nexus 5 API 23. In the first case, in the case when you run this Android Studio in the first time, you have to configure your emulator from AVD manager. Okay, look at this icon thoroughly, which is AVD manager. Go to AVD manager, click on this AVD manager, you will have such type of a screen. Over there you can create virtual device. I have created lots of device. You can create one of them and just focus this size, and this is the name of your device. Then go to the next, and after in the next portions you will have to select the API label, which is in Android there is no version. In Android Studio there is no version. Okay, version is for basically end users of Android devices. For developer there is a API label, and this is mapped with each other. Android version as API label. You can see that Android 9 is basically mapped with API label 28. Means as a developer you have to focus with API label. So you can download any of them and go to the next, and then configure. Automatically it will come in this list, and you can just select and OK. After configuring these all things, you will have your emulator over here. So just write on this all code, and after writing this entire code, select your emulator, means through which emulator the program will run. So I have selected, or by default my selection is Nexus 5 API 23. So I'm selecting it and click on run. So first time it takes a lot of time to run the program, because Android Studio, it needs a lot of space from your computer. At least you must have 8 GB RAM. Okay, to go just for general use, not for very fast Android Studio working. It will work on 8 GB RAM. Okay, so I have selected Nexus 5A and click on run. So my emulator is starting. You can see the emulator over here. This is the emulator, which is called a virtual device. This virtual device will run in your computer. You don't need to connect the actual real device to run your application. You can do this also, but this is a far better option. If you connect your real device with this Android Studio, it will be far better option, because it will not slow your machine. If you will use this emulator, obviously it will take a lot of time, and obviously to slow down your machine, because it takes a lot of space, of lot of your memory space. So obviously it will make your machine a lot slow. So just wait for a seconds, not for a seconds, several seconds. It takes a lot of time. Just wait. Okay, now the program already ran in with this device. You can see that the hello world is showing over here. Now just recap everything. I have created a simple text view in XML design and just made it empty. There is no text in this text view, okay, and just I have given this ID header, and I came to main activity.java. I have created the t1 text view in the runtime. I'm pointing that XML text view to this runtime object of text view, and then after I just change this text to hello world in onCreate method. onCreate method means this parts of code, this code fragment entire, basically the code which is written in this onCreate method, these portions of code will get executed as soon as your emulator will start. So that's the onCreate method, okay. It will not run for any particular event to be happen. As soon as the emulator will run, your emulator will start, or this application will start, automatically the code which is written inside this sections will get executed. And basically I have written the code which is I'm pointing to t1, a new object or runtime object of text view, and just change its text. So I can see that after this running application, just after, as soon as the application got started, it is showing hello world over here, okay. So I did just a little bit thing in Android application in the first video. Hope you got the concept of XML file and .java file, how to make pointings, which I am creating the objects in XML file, pointing it to a Java file, pointing it to a runtime object which is creating this basically in .java file, and basically a small changes I have made in text view, okay. So hope you guys got this entire things. In the next video I will come with some new properties, with some new features, or with some new activities, some tasks, how to do it in our Android applications, okay. So for the time being, bye bye.